The Russian government broadcasts a very specific narrative about the thousands of Ukrainian children relocated since the war began. According to state media and officials like Maria Lvova-Belova, who heads the relocation program, this is a humanitarian effort to rescue war orphans and give them a safe home. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has brought forward a very different set of facts. He alleges that these children aren't being rescued at all, they are being actively weaponized against their own people. The scale of the relocation is massive. Ukraine has documented the abduction of at least 20,000 children, taking advantage of the chaos of displacement to systematically remove them from the country. Once relocated, these children are subjected to Russification, a state-sponsored program that methodically erases their Ukrainian identity, language, and culture through psychological reprogramming. When you look at the mechanics of the operation, the humanitarian facade falls away. This is a highly organized effort to strip a generation of their heritage while hiding in plain sight as a relief mission. Running a sprawling network of reeducation camps requires a lot of capital. Recently, investigators at the Yale School of Public Health tracked the financial infrastructure sustaining these operations. A Yale report identifies Gazprom and Rosneft, two Russian state-owned energy giants, as entities underwriting the reeducation programs. These companies benefit from recent U.S. sanctions relief on Russian oil at sea, providing a financial stream for the companies managing the camp networks. That sanctions relief was originally issued to stabilize global prices. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has since extended those waivers multiple times, specifically citing the high demand for oil supplies from countries in Asia. The downstream effect is clear. By paying for cheap energy to feed global markets, international consumers are inadvertently supplying the cash flow that keeps Russia's forced assimilation camps running. Inside these heavily funded facilities, the reprogramming is intense. The children are subjected to a curriculum that systematically teaches them to despise their native country and their own people. But the ideological shift is only the first phase. The end goal of the pipeline involves transitioning these captive youths directly into forced military training. Young teenagers are put through rigorous, regimented combat drills. The severe psychological toll breaks them down, reshaping them into obedient foot soldiers. Zelenskyy has issued a direct warning about what happens next. He states that as soon as these boys come of age, the Russian military intends to push them directly onto the front lines. The ultimate objective here is bleak. The Russian state is engineering a scenario where young, indoctrinated Ukrainians are handed weapons and ordered to kill their own citizens. By transforming displaced children into active combatants, these camps turn an entire stolen generation into a tool designed to sustain the very war that initially uprooted them. Under international law, taking children across borders by force or coercion has a specific definition. It is classified as the unlawful deportation of population. That exact charge is what triggered the International Criminal Court to issue a landmark arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin in 2023. Despite the warrants, Russia has recently made a sinister proposal. They offered to trade the abducted Ukrainian children back to their home country, but only in exchange for Russian soldiers captured on the battlefield. International humanitarian law clearly separates the legally protected status of a civilian non-combatant, like a child, from an active combatant. Exchanging civilians for soldiers is strictly illegal, yet Russia's proposal attempts to drag civilian children across this legal barrier, functionally stripping away their human rights protections, removing them from their homes, breaking down their identities, and handing them rifles. The Russian government is going far beyond territorial conquest. They are attempting to permanently hollow out Ukraine's future, making the enforcement of international law the final mechanism left to protect these children.